Alrighty, so I'm just gonna record this as a video. Alright, so I picked the most like basic stable map in the game, and let's do this. Turn everything off, give myself gauntlets. Okay, so I'll go through every weapon. I'll try to go through every weapon as fast as I can. Cause this should make it easy. Alright, so the the way that I try to remember where to position myself for each matchup is generally by what moves the people want to do. So I'm not coach, but I'm a go starting from like uh I don't know. I'm gonna start with the starting the first legend Bodvar. All right, Bodvar. Whoops, that was a misinput. Tab and I'm gonna control him. All right, so Bodvar has hammer and he has sword. So, oh my god, turn this off. All right, so that means that for both weapons, it's going to be more or less the same positioning that you're going to want to be in when you're on gauntlets. Because the main game plan for any matchup when you're on gauntlets is counter punishing them. There's some kind of specific stuff I do, but for the most part, it's going to stay the same. So if you are fighting a hammer player, the best things that they have to hit you are Ser and like D-Light, Nair, Dare, and the Ser. I mean Silite for this. I messed up. But those all hit in the same area. Like the way you can kind of see it is if we like put ourselves like I can put myself. You see how I'm like lined up with like the background, like the stick. This kind of space right here is all the hammer space. And so you kind of have to think in your head like, okay, if I end up approaching this person, they can hit me basically anywhere in this like queue, this area over here. And so if I'm playing Luke, um, I'm on gauntlets. How could I swap? Okay, if I'm on Luke, I'm constantly thinking, okay, most of the time I want to be kind of like right here ish or like right above them. And this is mostly matchup dependent because you'll see that like a character like Taros, for instance, you do play them a little. This is like, all right, so I'm gonna rephrase this. So what I'm giving you is kind of like the base for every single matchup, since the more you play, the more you'll realize that certain characters you have to do certain things against them, and certain things work differently depending on the legend. Because Taros players will play very different than Bodvar players, just because they only have to hit you 8 times to kill you. Bodvar has to hit you a lot more, and he also can't take as much damage as Taros. So, again, there'll be different matchup things. But for the most part, I'm giving you the baseline, and then you can work it out from there. So again, we have Bodvar, and he covers this whole area. And so, if I'm ever approaching Bodvar, I'm gonna definitely want to kind of work around this area. And there's a lot of ways you can kind of move into the zone without getting hit. So you have your dash jumps that you can use. You have your aerial moves that you can, when you get close to the hitbox, you can kind of dodge to bait out a move, because at that point he's gonna be like, oh, you're in my hit range, I can hit you. Same with here. You would be baiting out side light, since the only thing he can hit you with here is side light or dash D light or dash N light, and most of the time hammer players are gonna go for side light or dash D light because it lets them combo. So obviously you would bait that out, and then you would punish. So that's basically hammer. You kind of think about it like this space here is where they their hitboxes are. So you just would bait for this. All right, sword. Sword. So, sword has a way larger range. This is because sword sidelight lets them move a lot more, especially if they do like a dash before the sidelight. They cover so much more space. As you can see, they cover from here basically to here. So from the start all the way to like the end of the start of this branch. So they cover all that space, and they can do that with almost every move. With Sair, if they dash jump, then they can cover even more space. They end up landing right in front of you. Um, D-Light doesn't cover that much space. It covers basically this whole thing. Sair, like in place, it covers there. Recovery covers there, though they can also steer it, so they can move pretty far. Dare covers so much space, more space than you actually think it does. Same with Nair, covers a bunch of space. It also gets grounded for some reason, I don't know why. So Sword definitely a lot harder of a matchup for Gauntlets. It's probably like top 3 worst matchup for Gauntlets. The other two would probably be Katars and Axe. No, Katars and Spear. That's the other two like worst ones. But Sword is definitely top 3 worst matchups just because there's so much like stuff that they can hit you with. They have so much like control over the map, but it's just that type of weapon. So you're definitely gonna want to play much slower into Sword. The way that I like approaching Sword, at least from a positioning standpoint, is I kind of like to jump in and kind of try to bait out a side light, because there's a few type of sword players. One type of sword player is like the side light demon. They want to hit you with every side light in the book, and it happens to be the only move they use. You'll be able to figure that out pretty quickly if it's that one, just because again it's like one of the only moves they use. Same with D-Light. Some sword players only like using D-Light because again it lets you punish, and those type of sword players are pretty easy because Sidelight, it's a force field, but it's also like a punishable force field, if that makes sense. As long as you're not like jumping into the Sidelight, you can basically outspace it and punish them pretty easily. And then the other type of sword player is the one that plays very aerially, and they're gonna try to hit you with the Sairs, the Dares, the Nairs, the recoveries, and that type of sword player is really hard to fight when you're on Gauntlets. It's kind of how Zinker plays. So let me see if I can grab a replay. I was fighting him earlier. I was losing to him earlier because he kind of just destroyed me because I didn't realize how he was playing until it was kind of too late. So as you can see, he's always doing aerial moves to catch everything. Even here again, recovery. He's always gonna look for Sair. Alright, every time he hits you, he's always gonna be looking for fast fall Sair. The way you actually beat this is you have to play very aerially. You'll see it later. I finally realize what style he's playing with, and then I start kind of bringing it back, but by then it's too late. But like I'm trying to stay on the ground mostly, but it does not work. Not against this playstyle, since again Sword covers too much space and has a lot of priority. I should have down sig there. I kind of messed up, so I died. But I should have definitely down sig. They would have caught him, and then probably wouldn't have killed, but it would have put me in a better spot than I was. He picked the bow here, which like again he's gonna try to aim for every single aerial move in the book, just cause. That's just how he plays. He barely is ever on the ground. He never like does grounded moves. That was bad. I tried to punish him. Pick up some gauntlets. I thought that would kill. It didn't. And then he just he gimps me off the top because I kept going to the right. It's a bad habit of mine against his weapons. But I kill him, and then I remember I think I realized after killing him is like, oh, this guy is like constantly, yeah, right there. When I hit him with Sair, I like realized this guy's always trying to like hit me in the air. So I'm just gonna jump around him a lot and hit him with every time he tries to jump above me, and I'm gonna catch him with Sair every time, and that's what I started doing. So like against this type of sword playstyle, you can see that it wasn't working me being on the ground, so I swapped to being in the air the whole time, like really hard in the air, and that worked a lot better. I mean, that was just unlucky, and then I recovered immediately, which is you're never supposed to do that. It's just bad gameplay. But again, just staying up in the air. I'm resetting to the ground to get my jumps back, but it's only because I want to go right back to the air. So I messed up my punish there. Should have N-sigged him. I should have GC side light recovered him there. Again, few mistakes, but it's again recovery. Um, and then he just dares and I die. But like again, I realized how I was supposed to fight him there, but that's basically what you want to do against somebody who spams aerials on sword. You want to stay a lot above them and use your dodge to reset back to the ground, because most of the time they're gonna try to do moves to catch you in the air. All right, let's see. So that's bow and sword. Bow. Oh, I guess I should also go over that. So bow. Bow is kind of the same as sword, I'm not gonna lie, though there is one more thing you do have to worry about, and it's bow D-light. This move goes very far if you dash D-light, and it covers a lot of range, but thankfully it's very easy to bait out. You're going to know eventually when they want to do bow D-light, and they'll practically stop doing it if you punish it like once or twice. So that's the good thing about bow. It's very easy to exploit once you know exactly what they're going for. The moves you do need to worry about on bow are N-light, as you probably have been hit by a billion times, nair, sair, and side lights. Those are the main moves, just because they're faster than all of your moves. They cover like hammer range, but they're very fast, and so it's kind of hard to not have them in the back of your head always. The only one again that I wouldn't really worry about is D-light, because if they try to D-light you and you read it and you just do this, then it's like they lose their mind. If like literally, or like if you just jump over it and then like sair them and land a combo off it, they don't know what to do. They completely like start faltering. So it's, just something to think about. But aside from that, yeah, bow very much the same as like a sword, that without all the mumbo jumbo. They're probably gonna play the same way as sword as they do bow. But bow is a lot easier since it doesn't have as many force fields on the ground. It's much more easier to punish. Alright, next weapon. Blasters. Blasters is so easy to fight. It's kind of disgusting how easy it is to fight blasters. So I guess I could show you while being on cross. So blasters has all this range. So this is basically all the range that blasters has. If the player's good, they'll also like do stuff like dash jump there, dash jump sairs, dash jump nairs. And because at the end of the day, the blasters player doesn't want you anywhere near them. So because of that, they're oftentimes trying to like push you away with moves. That being said, once you're in like this range where they can't hit you with sidelights, they become horrified. And I have a pretty good example of this. I think I fought someone earlier today who I kind of just abused while being on guns, because they were on guns. It was a Knicks player. I definitely fought them today. Oh, there we go. Alright, this person, they tried to play guns into gauntlets, and I just kind of dismantled them. It was very, very easy. So, again, most gun players get really scared when you get on top of them, because the only moves they can do are dare and nair, and most of them don't nair. This guy does. So I'll show you how I kind of work around that. But at this point, I'm like, okay, every time I just get near him, I stand like kind of on his left side, and I bait out the dare. since most of the time he's gonna think that I'm gonna go under him, but I'm not. So I bait out his dare and I punish him. And then some gun players will do this. They'll wake up a lot, and after getting hit with it once, I knew exactly what type of player he was gonna be. So I basically never got hit by this the rest of the match. You'll see. I'm like, okay, he's gonna wake up after I hit him, so I'm gonna read the wake up, and here, see, I read the wake up, and I get 3 hits. That dropped for some reason off of it. I thought he was gonna wake up there, but as you can see, like, it's really easy to get the damage going against guns because they really don't have a lot of options, and most of them are gonna panic dodge anyways. I mean, he's already disarmed. I've hit him that many times. I tried to read him there, which was bad, but it is what it is. He's also playing Scythe, so I guess I can show you against Scythe too. The main thing against Scythe is Scythe N light, Scythe D light, Scythe side light are very, very fast moves. You have to kind of think of it like if you were fighting Katars. You don't have a lot of time to punish them, and most of the time you're not going to be able to punish them. So don't get in the headspace of I can punish everything. You can't. Even there, I waited because I'm like, I can't punish him. If I try to land on him with dare, then he end-lights me. So I try to recovery him. Misses. Try to catch him with nair. You can't do this. This is really bad. Don't ever jump into Scythe. It's way faster than you, and has way better hitboxing than you. So don't ever do that. But yeah, against guns, you just kind of stay on their left. It's very easy to exploit, and very easy to punish. So they will always do it. Like, it's very, their game plan is very, very simple. So I wouldn't worry too much about blasters. Plus nobody plays them anyways because yeah, it's a very bad weapon. All right, Lance. Lance is a scary weapon for a lot of people because they don't know how to fight it. It covers a lot of space very quickly in the air, and if they want, they can hit you grounded. It covers, again, kind of, I like using this for reference. It covers basically all this space. So the main moves you want to watch out for if you're fighting a Lance player is Sair, Dare, and Nair. If you're getting hit a lot by Nair, it means you're jumping too much and you have to play more grounded. Because ideally you should never get hit by Nair, especially because it's a very obvious move. And if you're getting hit by it too much, it's because you're jumping too much. The other 2 moves that you should be always watching out for is Sair and Dare. That's because both of these are very punishable. Sair, you can punish with Gauntlet Sidelight. They're still in lag, so see, it takes forever for them to, I don't know if you can hear my clicks, but it takes forever for them to do something after missing that. So you can punish with Dare, you can punish with Jump Nair, you can punish with Sidelight. So always try to be in like this range where you're like right outside of their Sair hitbox. The other thing is Dare. The Lance players will kind of always try to cover themselves if they miss Dare because they're like I don't want to get hit, obviously. So they'll probably do this, or they'll probably do Dare and Light, Dare D Light. So always kind of read the second move they do when they're doing Dare. Because it'll give you a lot of free punishes. When I'm fighting Lance, usually it's one of 2 things. Either they're like Sairing all over the place and I punish the Sair, or they're daring all over the place and they're waking up with delay right after missing and I punish that. So kind of just think of that, and remember it covers a little bit more than the middle, like this kind of place. I'll show you Scythe real quick. Scythe covers basically the same kind of position. The real problem with Scythe is, again, that it's very fast. It's just like Katars, and so you never want to be above Scythe because it has all this space it covers, so you can't land on it. It's too fast. So most of the time you want to be on the ground, baiting out moves like Sidelight, D-Light, etc. These moves you can punish on gauntlets. If you're on cross, you can punish with down sig most of the moves on the grounded Scythe kit. Alright, next weapon. Katars. I'll show you Katars real quick. So Katars is a very difficult matchup for gauntlets, mostly because it's a very fast weapon. It has all these moves that out prioritize. They all have drift. They can move in the move. They can do them instantly. They're very hard to punish. Katars. Um, the best way to deal with Katars, in my opinion, is you kind of want to jump a lot in this matchup. You can play grounded, and I'll show you an example of playing grounded, but most of the time you want to be jumping. This is because the only thing Katars can really hit you with if you're jumping is recovery, nair, maybe Sair, but 90% of the time it's nair. And so you can read nair. You can also condition them to nair, because if you're always jumping around, then most of the time you can just like start playing grounded all of a sudden and jump Sair to them, because you know they're gonna try to jump near you. Um, and so there's that. And then on the ground, the moves you kind of want to worry about are N-Light and D-Light. These moves are very fast, and most of the time I actually give Qatar players more than one time that they can miss. This is because I'm not punishing this most of the time. If I'm a very, like, I have very fast reaction time, and most of the time I'm not punishing this. It's too fast, but I can punish this. Like, I can punish the D-Light that comes after they miss N-Light, just because in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, that's what they're going to do after. I already know they're going to do that. Qatar players will also never do this move. This move is ass. It's the most punishable move. The only thing they can do after missing this is D-Light, and you can punish that. So, you kind of want to stay in this zone. You never really want to be on top of them. I'll show you an example of a dude that I fight. This guy. So he actually starts the game off beating me, mostly because my character can't kill, and I end up getting kind of rolled by Qatars, but off stage. But again, look, he's on Qatars, and I guess by this point in the game, I realized that he likes going to the platform, so I kind of start like recovering every time I approach to try to hit his jump. And I also realized this. You can't really do this. I should have dashed in and out, but I ran straight towards him. So obviously, every time you run towards somebody, they're gonna try to attack you. Some people will try to run away, but in higher elo, they're probably gonna try to attack you because they're like an opening. So that's true. You can't avoid that. I try to read him there, his jump in, but as you can see, I'm not really trying to run in. I'm dashing in and out, mostly kind of staying away from him. Here I push up just to take up the space. I tried to kill him there, but look, I just reset again. I'm not ever near this guy when he's on Qatars because, well, it's really hard to get the first move, and you're always trying to bait out a move. See there, I tried to bait him super hard and I never did. So I'm like, next time I'm gonna try to Sair him whenever I get near him, because I know that he kind of will wait for me to do a move. Again, I'm still trying to hit him. As you can see, I'm missing a lot. I do that a lot too. I wake up and N-Light, because most guitar players will try to read you. They won't immediately try to hit you, and if they immediately try to hit you, then that means that you always have to dodge. I kind of messed up there again, but I clean it up. I think I landed Sair or something. Turn around Sair, yeah. And then by now I already kind of know what to do against his Qatars. I kind of just lock him down. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I started abusing Silent Nair because he didn't like dodging. Again, always very far away from him. I'm never on top of him. Even if I land Silent Nair to get a dodge read, I'm running the fuck away. And I guess he thought I was gonna dash in, but nah, it's a full retreat. Because I know that guitar players that like to wake up, and because of that, I got to punish him again for it. I went for the whole thing just in case he didn't dodge. Again, I take one hit, like I do one hit, and then immediately I'm out of there, bro. Because I know guitar players love waking up. It's like their favorite thing to do. because they know that they're faster than you, so you have to be faster than them. That hits me. I'm surprised that didn't kill me. Um, he messes up. I think I tried a GC satellite here. No, I just kind of chase him down. Again, sword. I'm kind of moving around him. He likes to play a lot more grounded sword, not punishing my jumps with nair, so I'm not really scared of him at all. That was a misinput, by the way. That's why I died. I misinputted. That was a down sig. Did I have a recovery? I think he punished my recovery, right? What's there? I kind of just died. I just threw myself off the map. I was like, ah, it's whatever. Yeah, I didn't have a recovery. I was sweat beating, I think. I had one more jump, and that's it. I could have made it back. I don't know why I didn't try to make it back, but I was like, it's fine. It was my fault for getting hit there. And then there, I'm trying to read him with recovery on guns, because guns suck. But I still need to hit him. Oh yeah, I remember what happens. So I do a Sair, and then I realize that he's trying to read my Sair, so I go on the ground and I punish him with delay. But yeah, here I am. Again, he's back on guitars, and I don't really have too much problems fighting his guitars at this point. I kind of know what to do. Also, you can't be scared of getting hit by guitars. That's another thing. You should have in your back of your head that they're gonna wake up, but if you get scared of getting hit, they're gonna roll you. So, good movement. I'm chasing him down again. Again, he's waiting super hard. I'm expecting a sidelight. I end up getting hit by it, even though I was reading it. Sidelight, recovery. I try to recover again to end the game. I jumped right into him, which was bad. But I also realized I'm like, he's probably going to try to read me jumping into him again, so I'm probably going to try to do a sig. Yeah, I did a signature to try to cover myself. I weapon starve him here. And I read his movement, and I just catch the recovery. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, most of the time, again, you kind of want to be away from them. Not very good to be close to them. Alright, let's see what else we're doing here. What other weapons? Orb. Let's do orb real quick. So, orb is kind of the same as guitars. You really want to be like in... I guess I should have went to Demon Island, but it covers basically the same amount of space as sword. Nah, it's probably like closer to like bow without having like, you know, delay, but like a sword, kind of that kind of idea. And so for this matchup, you're gonna want to be kind of close. I think I stay pretty close to orb players most of the time. It's kind of you want this move to come out, because this is the thing you're punishing. You're not punishing the sidelight or the nair. You're punishing this, so you kind of want to bait this out. If the orb player never does delight, then it's even easier, because then you know it's like it's either gonna be an air, or a Sair, or a dare, or a sidelight, which are all easier to punish than this. So you always want to watch out for that. But most of the time I stay pretty close to orb players. So I'm not gonna really take much time on it. This weapon, on the other hand, is an abomination. It's also very good at fighting gauntlets. So most of the time when people lose against spear and they're on gauntlets, it's because they're jumping too much, and they don't realize that spear has this move. It also has this move, and this move, and this move, and this move. All of these catch aerials. So you want to be baiting out the moves. And the move you want to bait out the most is this. This is their most punishable move. And they know it's their most punishable move. But they still, for some reason, do it. Because it leads them to combos. So most of the time you want to bait this out, because you can punish that with damn near everything. The ways I bait it out is I kind of like staying around them, but like a little bit higher. I stay in D-light range, basically. And most people are like, well, Freed, you'll get hit by D-light if you stay in D-light range. That's true, but then most of the time I dodge down and away. So I think I have a replay for this too. I was fighting some spear player earlier. Oh, here we go. He started rolling me, because I forgot how to fight spear. Like, you'll see. Unless it's orb. No, it's spear. So, whole time, again, I'm basically kind of trying to I still try to catch his jumps, but I'm also trying to like basically catch him when he messes up. I should have punished him with more damage there, but I messed up. And then he swaps the orb, and as you can see, I completely just like get the fuck away from him. Alright, I die here super early because I messed up my movement, and then I messed up my recovery. I shouldn't have recovered right away, and I would have been alive, even if I just jumped. I just messed up killing him because I didn't think the ground pound would hit, and then I didn't want to reset to the wall for some reason. This is kind of bad because Gauntlet, because I like playing guns into spear. It's an easier matchup than Gauntlet's way easier. But yeah, here's kind of an example of me fighting Orb. Again, staying kind of around him. Here he catches me. Again, you can't spot dodge against Orb. This weapon is way too good at just kind of catching everything. Same thing here. I'm staying too close to him whenever I miss. And like, you gotta be close, but not close enough that he can just hit you every time. So I punished that wrong. See, because that was too far. Again, you want to be close enough that you can punish stuff like that, but not close enough that they can hit you with it. It's kind of a really weird balance, but spear. Again, you just kind of want to bait out a lot of moves. Boots. What do I have left? Boots. You have boots, greatsword, cannon, and axe. Okay, let me show you boots real quick. Boots is just sword. If you think about it like sword, you will have a very easy time fighting it. This is sword sidelight, this is sword delight, this is sword sare, this is sword nair. This is kind of like sword dare. I kind of think of it like no boots player does this. Don't worry about this. Sword nair. This is just sword. The same way you would fight sword, you would fight this weapon. You would be sword and light. It's basically the same thing. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. Axe. I don't like fighting axe, but I have a lot of experience fighting it, so I know exactly what to do. So axe, you want to parry the shit out of this weapon, and because of that, you have to stay close, but not close enough to get hit by these moves. These are the main axe moves that they will always try to hit you with. This one too. And because of that, axe kind of covers a lot of space around itself, you know, with all those moves. You don't ever need to worry about Sarah unless it's like you're in kill range, and then you would have to worry about it, but outside of that, you really wouldn't have to. But like I was saying, axe, it covers, you know, a lot of space that Gauntlets wants to be in. But the axe player knows this, and they're like, okay, every time he jumps, I'm just gonna delight him to cover it. And so you want to bait that out using that. If you know that they're going to try to okay, I'll show you an example. It's easier with examples. I'm doing this all with examples. Where do I fight an axe player? I fight so many fucking axe players, man. I don't ever play grounded against axe. I think I roll this guy. I do, but it should be a good enough example of how to fight him. So I pick up gauntlets. He picks up axe right away, and as you can see, I'm never fast falling. I'm always trying to like parry the shit out of him because you can't attack axe right to its face. See, again here, I think he's gonna try to approach, and so I'm going right behind him. I'm side swapping. I don't care. And then if you do that enough, people will think that, oh, this guy's gonna just try to parry me every time I try to hit him. So I'm not gonna try to hit him first, and that's where you hit them first. Same idea here. I try to hit him first to catch him off guard. I did satellite to cover myself, but as you can see, I stay nearby him. Yeah, again, I got hit by Sarah. That was bad. I try to cover myself. Oh yeah, this is another thing I do a lot. If I'm stacked with an axe player, I will stand still. This is the best shit in the game, and it works really well if you know how to space correctly. Cause then they'll just whiff their side light or their end light, cause they're gonna think that you're gonna run away, but you're just standing still, and that lets me punish him. I, I try to find a recovery, but I just find a down sig when I land, and then I think, yeah, GCD lights there kills him. But yeah, more or less for X, you really want to be baiting them out. I guess you could. Gauntlets is kind of. You just want to play really passive. I don't know what to tell you for gauntlets. I don't like the gauntlet mirror matchup. I usually just play really passive, and try to stay close to the ground to punish their stuff. That's usually what I try to do, in terms of positioning. Cannon. I have an example for cannon. This weapon. Cannon players always do the same thing. They always want to hit you with end light. They always want to hit you with side light. Whenever they miss, they cover themselves with end light. That's literally the whole cannon game plan. And then sometimes they Sair. You will have to worry about this sometimes, but for the most part, you're worried about this move, and this move. And then when you're in kill range, you're worried about this move because that's their true combo. And then most of them will do that, which you see it. So the way I kind of play around this move, this weapon, is I play very passive. It is the easiest way to counter cannon. Not even close. I think I fight Dark Nova, right? This is yesterday, right? Yeah, this is yesterday. I fight Dark Nova today. I don't know when, but I do fight him. And it's like a masterclass on how to beat up cannon. There we go. He like barely touches me at all. With either weapon. Okay, as you see, I'm kind of jumping around him to bait out the side light, because I know that cannon players start all their string with side light. So I bait it out to punish it, and then I reset to the side. I jump around him to bait out side light, and then every once in a while I will actually push up and side light him or delight him, mostly because he's gonna think that I'm trying to bait him, but I'm not. I'm trying to hit him. The mix-up. Again, just kind of, I'm always waiting, trying to, bait it out. See, every cannon player, when they miss, they'll try to cover themselves. That's why I jumped, and then I got to punish them for free. So it's really just, you kind of want to just jump around them, basically baiting out stuff. What's left? I think it's just great sword. Great sword, right? Yeah. All right. Great sword. This weapon is weird. I have a very specific way of fighting greatsword that has to do with the fact that I play cross. But I will try to show you more or less where I try to position myself. So greatsword has like a few moves that are kind of really hard to punish on gauntlets. This move, you can't really punish any of the greatsword starters except for D-Light. D-Light is you can punish. You can't punish Sidelight. It's too fast, and it covers too much space that you want to be at. So unless they Sidelight like right here, and you catch them with D-Light, you're not gonna catch them. Same with N-Light. So most of the time when I'm fighting a greatsword player, I like to actually like bait out the Sidelight and hit him with down sig on cross gauntlets. It is by far the most abusive way I fight this weapon. So thank God I found the replay right away. So I'm kind of getting hits because I'm trying to get the weapon and I'm trying to bait him to not hit me. Guns are very easy to fight greatsword with because you cover a lot of space that they want and you never have to approach. Anyway, I pick up gauntlets. Here we go. So I'm punishing him for using a sig wrong, just covering ledge. Does he actually play greatsword into me? I want to say he does. I think I get hit by with some bullshit sig. Alright, that doesn't hit for some reason. And then he just N6s me, right? Yeah. I kill him right away. I throw it away. I think I play gauntlets for the rest of this. But, yeah, greatsword. Yo, pick up greatsword. I already showed him how to play X. Fight X. Okay, he picks up greatsword here. Cool. Alright, so I'm jumping around him a little bit because I'm trying to bait out something that I can punish. As you can see, a lot of the matchups I do, I like staying away from them. I don't really value stage control as much as other players, which it used to be a problem, but it really isn't anymore because stage control doesn't matter that much. But I was able to punish this, try to recovery him. I'm still trying to find a hit. He gives me that. Nair, Sair kills him. Cool. When I die, does he play Greatsword into me? He does. Still, again, trying to find an opening. Oh, I think I just beat him up with guns. There's no way. I have to swap to gauntlets eventually. Okay, there we go. I guess this is a bad example because this guy's like really bad at the game. I kind of just wash him. I should have jumped GC delighted. Or GC satellite recovered. But yeah, it's like, and he also just plays a lot of axe most of the time because I was rolling him when he was on greatsword. He couldn't really hit me. Not that he has to hit me a lot of times when he's playing that legend. At this point, I'm waiting for a signature so I can punish it. Again, same thing that I taught you when I was fighting axe. And then I just find a recovery. But again, greatsword's very weird. If they're on Jiyun, they're a bit faster, but it's kind of the same shit regardless. And yeah, that's should be every weapon in the game. And how I kind of go about fighting them with gauntlets. A lot of them are kind of the same, which is good because it means you don't have to learn that much, but everything has its own specifics, obviously. I'm gonna go drink some water because this was 40 minutes of babbling, but yeah, I'll see you.